Okay, fine, you do whatever you're doing and you're doing good for the people, you don't want to be into the expansion, you don't want to take you there. But if we are looking at scale, if you're looking at expanding, we are going to have to work with various agencies. We cannot do without that. There's no way we can do without. We have to work with each other, we have to work with the government. When you talk about sustainability of what you do, especially the work we do, in the areas of water management, we have to work because you're working with the government, you're working with the public lands, you're working with the communities, you have to work with them. We work with on the governance issue, we have to work with the government. We have to, on the agriculture is very, very important, and government is involved in every aspect of agriculture. And one of the things I've not presented it is the agriculture aspect. We have to work with the community, we have to, I'll give you a small example, subsidies. Agriculture gets a lot of subsidy, and if I refuse to work with the government, I cannot benefit that farmer, and the benefit of the farmer cannot exist without the subsidy receiving from the government. So there are elements that we have to make sure that we work with them. Now, how do you work with them? That is the mechanism. That is the mechanism we need to devise. I'm not saying that to work with them, you bribe them. No, we cannot do that. We have to stick to some principles. We have to have very strong principles internally. Yesterday somebody was giving an example that they waited 1 year, I don't know who was it, waited 1 year to build, yeah, it's wonderful. That's a great thing. That's a great example to follow because we have to be patient. Non-profit work, we don't have a bottom line to meet. I know for-profit organizations will do by hook or crook, they will get there, what they need to get done, because their bottom line is dependent on it. Our bottom line is development. Our bottom line is the growth of the people. Our bottom line is eradication of poverty. We can be a little patient on it. We have to have patience on it. We have to work with it. But don't corrupt anybody else while we are trying to get that thing done. My presentation, and I said I only have 6-7 slides. Why governance? I mean, we always talk about why do we need to bother? Why should we be getting into this? I mean, some of the questions why don't the teachers teach? You know, our budget, the rural development budget in India is only second to our defense budget in the country. So much money is being allotted to it, and we cannot just let it be. We cannot just neglect this issue. We have to see how can we get the teachers to teach? How can we get the clinics to treat in the clinics? These are the questions we have to, why is not getting done? When you go to the rural areas, you and I and everybody combined in the world doesn't have that kind of financial resources to take that work all over India. And I think these are the very, very pertinent questions that we need to ask. Why don't the clinics stay? Where is the development? Even though we say 5 paisa or whatever reaches that people, but why? That is a question we always need to continue to ask ourselves, and I think the answer is very simple. It's the empowerment. People over the years, people have said, it cannot be done. Now people have, that you go to the villages, there's so many programs in India, they're called schemes. I don't like to use the word scheme because, first of all, I do want to compliment all the ladies that were on this panel in the morning, and I'm sure you would have preferred another lady follows it, but I'm so sorry. You had to listen to me for this one. But very good talks by youth and that IDCA and the colleagues have given is a wonderful. But coming back to my point is that I think we talk about women empowerment, and this is very, very needed topic that we all need to see how we get involved in the development. So we have a program which is truly our flagship program, and we fully believe in it. The fact that if we want to be sustainable in what we do, we need to work on the governance, we need to work on the empowering the people, and empowering the women especially in this particular aspect. Again, coming back to that. What is the framework that we follow in our lot of terminology used here, and I will explain what they are. We formulated our good governance. GGN is good governance now. We want good governance now. That is the methodology we take to the people. You need it now. You can't wait till tomorrow. This is the urgency we create in the communities. We're working in the community. They need to demand today. It's not, again, I mentioned this yesterday. I cannot go to the district officer, collector, or what DC is, what they call district collector, to say why the midday meal is not being, why is it not operational in the villages? The question they always ask me, what do you have to do with it? What is in good for you? No, that is, I have nothing, no good. My thing is that particular service, if the government has announced millions of dollars, millions of billions of rupees for that particular project, it should be getting done. But people have to demand that. Communities have to demand it. I cannot demand that particular. So IDS is integrated child development services. Everybody knows it's like a small daycare center in every village that should be working, operational. There's a tremendous amount of resources allotted to it. PDS is public distribution system. You see, we said we cannot take on everything. We have to take on those areas which make an impact in the lives of the people. So we have selected only very few aspects of the governance. We said there's many other programs, but which ones are the most, immediate impact that we can bring? These are the ones we have. So public distribution system, everybody knows what that is. Who doesn't know what is a public distribution system? Is that basically there is a shop in the village that is supposed to distribute a certain amount of grain.
Use the word ration shop, everybody will know.
Pardon?
Ration shop.
Ration, right, that is correct.
Everybody will know.
Ration shop, okay, thank you. MDM is the midday meal program. Why? The children don't go to school. You cannot expect the children to be in school for 8 hours and be hungry and not be having a meal in the day. Why? And this, we said we need to make sure where we work, we will make sure the midday meal. Manrega is a new scheme, is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. These are acts, these are legislations, these are rights of the people. Employment right. People who are below poverty line, they're supposed to receive 100 days of employment in a year. There's this long act. It's not getting done. Or somebody's taking cut and not making sure it's implemented. Why does all these, why should we do this? These have been around for quite some time. Why do we think it'll work now why it didn't work before? That is the biggest thing. And that's where right to information actually comes into it. Right to information is a very, very wonderful tool that the government of India has very recently announced, about 6 years ago, I think. And right to information is the backbone of all the governance programs. That's where in this country, what is it called? Right to
Freedom of information.
Freedom of information. Thank you.
And that's different, by the way. The two are entirely different. Freedom
Pardon?
of Information Act has nothing to do with right to information.
Yeah, right to information.
They're very different.
Freedom of information.
Oh, okay, but to us, why our governance works is because backbone is right to information.
Yeah.
Because the people are made aware of this, people can demand, why was this money allotted for the school? They can ask the principal, they will ask the sarpanch. So this is basically giving voice to the people. You're giving voice to the people. Say, with a 10 rupees or with a 5 rupees, you can launch this type of investigation with the government, and they have to be responsible to respond to it. It cannot be ended up on a shelf somewhere. There's a accountability to make sure that people are respond to those particular right to information, and that's why we feel good governance now makes very, very effective. We don't, first thing we do with the people, we don't come out as a threatening. We are not in an active activism. We call this more of a passive activism, basically saying, giving the voice to the people, creating the awareness. They will go and demand their rights first. But if they are not being heard, they can invoke the right to information. And that is how we go about doing this. Some of the empowerment of the community, I think I talked quite a bit about that. Community participation is extremely, extremely important. Now here, we develop women groups that will go and they become sort of a knowledge center in the village. So they are the ones who are actually knowledge centers, and they are being given information about all the type of programs that the government has and how they can go about. There's a mechanism we have built. It's a 1-year training program where these volunteers, this program runs right now in the 2,000 volunteers that is in these villages. They're all volunteers, they don't get paid. They come together because they see benefit in it. They see benefit and they feel good when the things are starting to happen. If the ration shop in the village is all of a sudden distributing proper ration that's supposed to be distributed to the people, they feel good about it themselves. And that is the catch. That is the thing. If this is not working, they come to us as a consultation. We have